Good afternoon. It's Mrs. Haley, and we are going to read a story today. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about something that sometimes the author tries in their text. They try to teach you a lesson, or they give you a message that has something to do with the text that you have to try to figure out. Sometimes they explicitly state it, but sometimes it's inferred, which means you have to use the clues from the text and your schema to figure out what the message might be. So we're going to read Flower Garden by Eve Bunting, and then afterwards we're going to see if we can figure out the theme or the message the author wants us to learn. Are you ready? All right, let's read. Garden in a shopping cart. Doesn't it look great? Garden on the checkout stand. I can hardly wait. Garden in a cardboard box, walking to the bus. Garden sitting on our laps. People smile at us. Garden going up the stairs, stopping at each floor. This garden's getting heavier. At last, our own front door. Hurry, hurry, get the trowel, spread the papers thick. Get the bag of potting soil, get the planting mix. Put purple pansies at each end, daisies white as snow. Daffodils, geraniums, and tulips in a row. Garden in a window box, high above the street. Where butterflies can stop and rest, and ladybugs can meet. Walkers walking down below will lift their heads and see purple, yellow, red, and white, a color jamboree. Candles on a birthday cake, chocolate ice cream too. Happy, happy birthday, Mom. A garden box for you. And there they are enjoying the flowers. So what'd you think? It's a pretty simple story, but I think it has a lot of meaning. First of all, let's think about some of the events that happened. We'll go back and think about it, because remember, if we don't pay attention, understand, and comprehend what we're reading, then we're not really reading at all. We're just reading the words. So if you look at it, the very first thing that this little girl does is she buys the flowers, and she has them in the cart. And then she puts them up on the conveyor belt there so she can pay for them. And then they walk down the street. And I'm noticing, just kind of by looking at some of the setting of the story, that I think it takes place in a city. See the tall buildings and all the people on the streets? I'll tell you some other clues that make me think that too. Then they're taking a bus to their apartment. And what are the people doing when they see these flowers that are sitting on their lap? They're smiling. Isn't that interesting? Why do you think they're smiling at the flowers? Do flowers make people happy? They're beautiful, aren't they? Then they take the flowers, the garden, up the steps, and it seems like there's probably a lot of steps. So I'm thinking they live in an apartment building. And she has to stop and rest because the garden is getting heavier to carry up those steps. But finally, they make it to their front door. Now, is their front door outside like a lot of ours? No. So I think that with the steps and the front door being on an inside of a building, I think that they must live in an apartment building. And we're going to keep going, finding some clues. Look what they're doing. Dad and her are taking this window box and they're planting the flowers in the window box. And look at the window box. All the different flowers and all the different colors. It's beautiful. And they put it outside. And now, not just the little girl and her dad can enjoy, but all the people that can look up from the street can see this window box of flowers. Look at them all looking up on there. See the window box. Do you think it's something that they like to look at? Look at their faces. She can tell they enjoy it. And then finally, what do we find out about the reason the little girl did the garden? We find out that she did it for her mom's birthday. And how does mom feel about those flowers? I can tell from her face that she's very happy about it. And there they are enjoying the flower box. So let's talk about some of those events. What could we think of that's a theme for the book that could actually be used in other parts of our life? If you think about the main idea of the book, it's about building this flower garden for mom for her birthday, right? That's one of her presents. But if we're going to think of the message the author wants us to learn, how could we take what this little girl did and think of a theme that would fit into different areas of our lives? What is it that she did? She did something really nice for her mother. And in return, it was something nice for her neighborhood as well. So one of the possible themes of this book could be kindness. Look at the kindness that she had for her mother that was able to be lived in the whole entire city. Kindness might be a theme of this book. Doing something nice for others might be a theme. If you do something nice for others, look at her. She's happy about it too. So that's what I want you to work on. I want you to work on doing something kind for your mom or your dad or your sister or your brother, and knowing that whatever you do makes them happy and it'll make you feel good too. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.